talk to me about, with all the trainings that you've done, working with Dr. Matt James and Empowerment Inc. for years. And, we're going to go deeper into, what you're doing now. Because, you've got such an incredible background professionally, helping people in so many different ways. Talk to me about, just experiences you've had with other people who, you as a student, you go in there and you're not necessarily know exactly what you're looking for, but as a teacher, you taught thousands of people all over the world. And so talk to me about that dynamic that you run into with other students that come to you, and as a coach working with individuals who come to you with that same issue. And one thing I always like to point out to people is, as coaches and as trainers, most people aren't always aware that we're all teachers and we're all students in life. And we learn a lot from the people we help. And
No,
so
oh yeah.
you talk to me more about that aspect of your professional journey through NLP and as a transformational coach and what you're doing now.
Yeah, so many learnings and humbleness and humility, and being a trainer, first of all, being on stage, and now you're in front of these groups of people who are staring at you. And that's another level of learning the information. So many people would ask me, when did you feel like you really learned, NLP, for example? And I was like, after the first time I taught it. It was another level to be up there and to get the feedback from the students and on the breaks to hear what they got from it. It was all feedback that really helped me become a better teacher, to become a better trainer. And I have to remember that I would even set that up when I would get on stage. I would look out at them and say, I'm a student just like you. I'm on this path just like you. I always had a joke. People would come up to me because they're like, wow, you just know this so well. Like, how long did it take you to get to that level? That was like the most famous question. They wanted to gauge, like, how long do I have to put in to get to where you are? And I said, because they asked, how long did it take? And I said, any day now. Any,
Yeah,
any day
absolutely.
now. Because I laugh and I go, I'm still a student. There's still things that I learn, or somebody gets on stage. Dr. Matt would get up there, another trainer, I would hear them say it in a different way. And I went, oh my God, that just went another level for me. Absolutely. And I think that's part of the beauty of it. And so teaching other students, and it was just, traveling and being in front of different groups was fascinating to me, because no group is going to be the same. No group will be the same. You're going to have different group dynamics, and there's the energy of the group. And even that became like a fun game for me, right? Where's the group at as a collective? And just to remember that I was in their seats as well. And I think as a trainer, someone who's been on stage, and I know you have as well, I remember that as I get up each time, I was in their seats as well. So I really come from the place of meet people where they're at. You want to meet where they're at. And that's with good storytelling or examples and things like that, getting to know them. And then it's almost like a pull energy, not a push, but like a come with me energy. It would be like a beautiful dance when you were teaching. And so that's really what it was like for me. Every time I didn't know what it was going to be like, because like I said, a different group, and building that rapport. And then you have students come up on stage and they would be demos for like the phobia. We did a phobia release at the end of every single training. Do you know how freaking cool that was? And like what an honor that people would even raise their hand and felt comfortable and ready, to let it go. And there's times where sometimes I would be like, I get to do this for a living. Like I get to do this. And I will say, you sometimes run the risk of taking it for granted. And I would have to remind the team, we would remind ourselves that, again, meeting people where they're at, and then what we are sharing, there's some pretty powerful tools to help people truly just kind of live more in alignment, be free, and I think that was my big why. I'd get up there and I would teach the same, content, if you will, training after training. But in order to get connected to it, I had to dig into my why. And the why was, I knew that those students, when they came in, that was a before photo, and who they were going to be just within 4 days, they were going to be completely different. And to be able to witness that transformation and the highs, lows, the stuff coming up, the
Mhm.
baggage, whatever it is, and having them have a breakthrough, it was unbelievable. It was to be able to do that. I don't know if many people will be able to have the opportunity for 4 or 5 years that I did just traveling around. And I just have a ton of gratitude. It was just an
Yeah.
incredible experience.